Crdoba is a province of Argentina, located in the center of the country. Its neighboring provinces are Santiago del Estero, Santa Fe, Buenos Aires, La Pampa, San Luis, La Rioja, and Catamarca, together with Santa Fe and Entre Rios. The province is part of the economic and political association known as the Center Region. Crdoba is the second most populous Argentine province, with 3,308,876 inhabitants, and the fifth by size, at about 165,321 square kilometers. Almost 41% of its inhabitants reside in the capital city, Crdoba, and its surroundings, making it the second most populous metro area in Argentina. Before the Spanish conquista, the region now called Crdoba province was inhabited by indigenous groups, most notably the Camchingons and Sanavarrones. Once settled in Alto Peru, the Spaniards searched for a route to the Rio de la Plata port in the Atlantic Ocean to transport the Peruvian gold and silver to Europe. Crdoba de la Nueva Andalusia was founded as a middle point on that route on July 6, 1573 by Jerónimo Luis de Cabrera. The Colegio Convocatorio de Nuestra Señora de Montserrat was founded by the Jesuits in 1599, followed by the National University of Crdoba, Argentina's first university, in 1613. The city continued to grow as an important cultural center, supported by the trade of precious metals from Peru. In 1761, a printing press was installed in the university. In 1783, 7 years after the consolidation of the Viceroyalty of the Rio de la Plata, the Intendancy of Crdoba became the capital of what now includes the La Rioja, Mendoza, San Juan, and San Luis provinces, dividing the former Tucumán Intendancy in two. Rafael de Sobremonte was its first governor, when Crdoba city had 38,800 inhabitants. After the May Revolution in 1810, Governor Juan Gutiérrez de la Conca joined a meeting that decided to ignore the authority of the Buenos Aires junta. Francisco Ortiz de Ocampo attacked the city and executed the leaders of the opposition, among whom was Santiago de Liniers, leader of the resistance during the British invasions of the Rio de la Plata. Led by Juan Bautista Bustos after 1820, Crdoba struggled for control of the nation with Buenos Aires. The United Provinces of South America had neither legislative nor executive branches at the time. Crdoba sought a federal organization of the provinces while Rivadavia pushed for a centralized government in Buenos Aires. For 15 years, the province was submerged in internal revolts that started to stabilize in 1868 under the provisional government of Félix de la Pena. During the presidency of Sarmiento, an astronomical observatory and the Faculty of Physical Sciences and Mathematics were inaugurated. The creation of the railways and the consequent immigration brought a second wave of population growth to Crdoba. From 1887 on, several agricultural colonies in Los Luceros, on the route to Buenos Aires, became agricultural, commercial and industrial centers, respectively. The university reform movement, which originated in Crdoba in 1918, was influential not only in Argentina but throughout South America. Modernization of the curricular contents and the improvement of the students' rights were the main achievements of the movement and in Crdoba, and were largely enacted by Governor Amadeo Sabatini, who became Argentina's most progressive governor at the time and enacted civil and land reforms that would later set the national standard. After World War II, many foreign workers and workers from other provinces in Argentina were attracted to Crdoba's industrial development, led by the expansion of the car industry. It was during Arturo Frondizi's presidency that most new auto industries settled in the city of Crdoba and its surroundings. As in the rest of the country, Peronist groups emerged in 1955 following the coup that removed Juan Perón from office. These Peronist groups, together with other socialist and anarchist groups, began opposing Argentina's third military dictatorship that began in 1966. Worker and student participation in politics grew due to the widespread discontent with the appointed governor's hardline stance. culminating in the violent May 1969 popular revolt known as the Crdoba. This revolt, mirrored by the Rosariazo and others in several parts of the country, undermined the power of dictator Juan Carlos Onganía and ultimately led to his ouster by more moderate military factions. Crdoba has continued to prosper. Despite left-wing violence in 1973, right-wing political interference in 1974, government atrocities in 1976-77, 1978-81 free trade policies that battered Crdoba's sizable industrial sector, the 1980s debt crisis and the recent acute financial crisis that ended in 2002. Crdoba, located just north of the geographical center of the nation, is Argentina's fifth largest province. The main feature of the province is the presence of an extensive plain covering the eastern two-thirds of the province and the existence of three marge